Hello everybody, today is Wednesday, August 11th. I am pre-recording tonight's class because I have a doctor's appointment that's very late this afternoon, and I am having a few health issues and I have to do things when I have the energy. So I hope you enjoy tonight's class. This is the host code if you'd like to place an online order. I will have a drawing at the end of the month for Bungo, which is about a 5 brilliance with the coordinating dies. So this is a Hostess Code. If your order is more than $150, you do not need to enter a Hostess Code. I want you to get all the credits. This is celebration time. So if you do not have a celebration catalog, please let me know and I'll get it to you. So for every $50 that you spend prior to shipping and tax, you're allowed to select a free product in here. There are a couple of items that if you have $100 that you can choose. But for every $50 you can select a free product. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I wanted to show you was my cute little card that I'm making. I do have a sample of the designer series paper here for you. I'm not sure if I have every piece, but as you can see by looking at some of these, I have cut out some of the little critters. I like to do that, and some of them you can use the new punch that goes with the cute stamp set. This is the punch, and this is the adorable stamp set. There is so much that we can do with this. I'm really looking forward to it. I've only made a couple of projects. Hopefully this weekend I'll have some more energy and time to be able to do that. So let's get started. Creating this card is super fun and easy. I'm going to use a little bit different papers just so that you get to see. So the first piece you need, this happens to be 3 by 5.5. So I'm putting it right here in my cutter. And then the next piece, we need to have it be 1 1/4. So I like to use on this side of your cutter, you can cut up to 1.5 inches. Bring this down just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And again, this has the cute houses on the other side, and this one has all the different candies, which you could be coloring with your blends. Okay, so I'm going to connect these two. Oops, I forgot to cut this one at 5.5. Let me bring that cutter back in. Five and a half, so I'm going to take a 1/2 inch. This particular pack of paper is 6 by 6. That's how it comes. So I'm going to connect these two because I like to put my ribbon on the cheating method. It uses a lot less ribbon. So I just got some plain old masking tape here. Lining these up nice and close. Get another couple of pieces. So I hope you're all doing well today. It is cloudy out and it is going to get hot, so good time to be doing some crafts. It's hard to believe that Halloween will be here before we know it. So that's cute, having the two of the same color. And then I'm going to use some of this same ribbon. In this one I used the glitter ribbon, but this one here I'm going to put, oh, maybe that's too much. Well, I'm still going to do it. So if you're not familiar with the cheating method, now I could take my blend if I wanted to and color this ribbon as well. Those of you that know me well know I love black and white cards. So I'm going to make sure this is nice and snug before I tape it down. Grab my card base right here. I can put this onto my card base. I like to use Tombow. That's my glue of choice. It does take a little getting used to how to hold the pressure. It doesn't take a lot. A little goes a long ways. So this is going to cover the whole front of my card. I don't have to worry too much about having a frame and all that. It might not be exact, but you know what? It's okay. I'm going to hold that down just for a minute. Then I'm going to take another little piece and just tie a sweet knot. And the other reason that I like to do this method is because it allows you to move the bow, or the knot, I should say. Alright, so now I'm going to take some of these critters that I've already pre-cut from the designer paper. So let's have a ghost, a pumpkin, and a cat. And you can decide how big you want your squares. I selected 3. And they're 1 1/4. That's Old Olive, Pumpkin Pie, and Holly and Heather, I think. I always get my Holly and Heather and Gorgeous Grapes mixed up. So we need a little bit of white to go on that. So let me grab a piece here. So since my little squares are 1 1/2, I want to make my white ones 1 1/4. And I will need 3 of those. So I'm just going to cut a 1 1/4 strip, lining it up, always making sure that you're flush. Remember, the light gray one is the scorer, the one that's always different from your cutter. It doesn't matter which brand you have. So now I can turn that and cut 3 squares that are 1 1/4. There's 1, there's 2, and 3. So I'm going to take a little bit of Tombow and attach all of these. Just a few drops of glue will do. Oh, I guess the bottom is bigger than I thought. Let me check it out here. It's actually 1 3/4, but that's okay. Some of you may have some square dies that you can use. You can make these any size that you like. You could make them circles, whatever you like. If you've been following me for a while, it's hard for me to make the same exact card twice. Alright, so these little critters are going to go on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to grab my minis. Actually, I think I'll switch and grab the big ones. I'll only need 1. 1 on each one. Alright, so that's and our little cat. Okay, so now we're ready to put them on our card. Doesn't matter which direction. Again, just a little bit of Tombow, very lightly. I do like to use my grid sheet a little bit. So I want to be about 1/4 of an inch in, so you can see I'm using this stronger line from my grid sheet. I have to put them pretty close to the edge so I can get my middle one in. It's a tight fit. Some more wet glue. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a scrap of white to stamp my cute greeting, which I took from the stamp set right here. I'm selecting this Have a Fabulous, Fabulous Halloween. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use two colors. I'm using the regular markers. And I'm coloring the boo in the parentheses with my pumpkin. And then I'm going to color the rest with the black. And puff on it a little bit. There you go. This time I'm going to turn it into a banner. Another little tip, do not use your blends on these polymer stamps, and it doesn't like it very well, and sometimes it damages your stamp. Let me slide this in. This punch is retired, so we're going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals behind this as well. Oh, actually it looks like I didn't. Let me take those off. We're just going to put some wet glue. We're going to put it right here, right over the ribbon. Just like that. It's going to help hold the ribbon in place, and it adds a little bit of character. I'm going to hold that down just for a minute. This suite of products also has these really super cute self-adhesive stars that I'm going to put on. I love the face on that ghost. It cracks me up. Okay, so let's put that one there. An orange one up here. A black one down with the pumpkin. Another black one. Maybe over here. And one over here. So there's the cards, two different styles. It's amazing how different just making your squares bigger or smaller can change the whole outlook of your card. So like I was sharing last night with somebody, if you find a layout that you like, save it and just change like I did here. Just change up your square sizes, or maybe your orientation, or perhaps your paper. So this is the week that I do a 3D for you. So I have this super cute little box, and I wanted to show you it holds quite a bit. I have 4 nuggets and 4 pieces of Hershey minis in it. It only takes one. Let me get my scoreboard out here. Sorry for the racket I'm going to make for a minute. Kind of buried. Let me get this in view so you can see. in one paper. I'm going to use this cute cat one, I guess. Okay, so if your paper has an orientation like this one does, you want to be thinking about how you score this, because I want my orientation to go this way. So I'm going to leave it up like this. The first score mark I want is 1 inch. So this is a 6 by 6. Let me get that right up there. 1 inch and 5 inches. I'm not pressing very hard, it's only paper. You also want to use the wider end of your stylus. Now I'm going to flip this over, and so now my lines are running this way. So again, I'm doing 1 inch, 2 3/4, 3 3/4, and 5 1/2. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Bring this back in so you can see it. Grab a bone folder. I'm going to fold all going in the same direction since I'm trying to make a box. So somebody's probably wondering, this box is about 4 inches by 1 3 inches wide, 1 3/4 inches by 1 inch deep. Okay, so you have one side here that's narrower than this side. This is going to be the flap to your box, like right here. So we need to do a little bit of cutting. So I'm cutting straight down on the larger pieces and then notching, I call them the tabs. I'm going to put this one back, notch my tabs. Now this one right here, I am going to cut this right out. So I'm coming over here, I'm going to cut this one out. Now this one over here, I cut the sides off. This one I didn't, and I'm not going to on this one. I kind of like the better, it looks a little more finished. So notch this. Sometimes it's hard to see your cutting lines. Notch that. Notch that. And a little bit off here as well. And let me get all these scraps out of the picture. So you see you have 2 bigger ones and 2 bigger ones here, and then these are all smaller. This is your cover. Let me get a corner rounder. We all have a corner rounder. If you have your old punch board, you have one on the back of that. Alright, so then I know that these are my side tabs here. So I'm going to cut this one right next to the tab at an angle. I want to straighten this one out just a whisker. Looks like I didn't cut it straight. Then I'm going to cut about 1/4 inch off. I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not one of those people that have to be exact. So notching the larger tab in the front that's next to that one. And then again about 1/4 of an inch. Alright, so I got some more waste here. So I'm taking my red glue, folding in those tabs, putting a little bit of Tombow. You can use your strong tape, Stampin' Seal, whatever you want. Now all of the tabs are going to go towards the bottom here. So I'm going to hold that there, bring this one up, try to get a nice square. Just hold it there for about 10 or 15 seconds. Same on the other side. Nice square box if you can. Looks like this one I didn't cut enough of the tab, you know, the where you score it sometimes. So you can always take your scissors. So I want to test this. See if I need to trim a little bit on my tabs. I do. So this here needs to be trimmed just a little bit more. And that's how you'll know if you can close it. Let's round these corners. Maybe that's the problem in the front. If I can get it in there. There we go. Perfect. So I leave the tab out and I'm going to tie my bow around it. I'm not going to make it ridiculously tight so I can slide it off, put my candies in there to probably go to one of the grandchildren. So, you know, green money always works well for them. They can buy what they like. There. Whoops. Grab good scissors. I don't know where my ribbon scissors are right now. There we go. Then I punched out 2 tags from the gray tag set, which is somewhere here on my desk. Tag Tailors. Right here, you get 8 different size tags. I absolutely love it. So on this one, as you can see from my sample, I'm going to stamp that Hey Boo. I think that's so darn cute. Now I'm on a thick pad here, so I'm okay. You want to make sure you're on something when you're using these polymer stamps. So I'm just going to hold that there for about 10 or 15 seconds. Let the ink gravitate. And then I want to take a little bit of baker's twine. Just to add a little bit of color. So what I do is I loop my baker's twine like this. Put the loop through the holes. And then pull these and put my 2 tails through that loop. Then I'm just going to put a dab of glue so that that underneath one will show. And then I can slide this on, tie it onto my bow. tie this up, and then I'll clean everything out so you can see the projects. I almost think those little boxes of raisins might fit in here too. I didn't have any to try. But, what is that other thing? The little ones like fruit roll-up or something like that they like. Alright, so here we go. Great fun projects. A great suite of products to use. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to text me or email me. Until next time, everybody, you have a great evening. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye now.